Okay, I didn't know if we were going to do a countdown or not. Okay. I meant like have one so I know how long we've been talking. Like what time are we starting? 2:48. Okay. Welcome to the In Between podcast from Dallas Bay Church, where we talk about Sundays. I got to start over.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the In Between podcast here at Dallas Bay Church. We're so excited to start this brand new podcast. It's everything that's happening in between Sunday and Sunday, and our goal for this is to be encouraging throughout the week and get to know us a little bit better. Well, we will usually have Pastor Cesar. We wouldn't just introduce this morning, and so we're excited to start this. Cassidy, we're here.
Great. I'm Cassidy. My name is Cassidy Pendleton. I am creative media and communications person.
The guru.
The guru of whatever we got going on here at Dallas Bay Church. I do all the communications and social media and videos and all that stuff. So I'm excited about this podcast. In case you didn't know this about me, I love George Washington, and I watched a historical documentary about him this weekend, and that was mostly what I did. So thought I would share that.
George Washington. What's
He's
the
my
fascination?
favorite president.
Okay.
He was unanimously voted on twice.
Sure.
And he was like, I don't want to be a king, so I'm going to step down. And he went and lived under the rules that he had created as a farmer.
Isn't there like a cherry tree somewhere in there?
Yeah, he apparently chopped down a cherry tree and was honest about it. He died from dental disease, fun fact.
So brush your teeth.
Yes.
That's part of the podcast today but no, we're just kidding.
But yeah, I just thought that I would share that.
Funny.
Make it interesting.
I like it. Okay, that's good.
I love history, and so that's what I did with my weekend is watch. Other than go to church and
very eventful.
And worship, of course, I am entertained. It's very good. It's on Amazon. It's called Washington. History Channel did it.
Interesting. Very good.
What did you do this weekend?
Oh, man. I played with kids. Watch my son and daughter play and try not to hit each other. That's always fun. No, just being with family was great, and going to church. We love going to church, not because we work here, but because we love Jesus. And we hope that this podcast just encourages you. Again, that's what this is for, is to encourage you throughout the week. So let's talk about why it exists. Talk us through that, Cassidy, and why someone would want to listen to the In Between podcast at Dallas Bay Church.
Yes. So we know that Sundays can be powerful, but what happens in the in-between, right? What happens from Monday to Saturday? Sundays are great. We love fellowshipping with our believers and our brothers and sisters in Christ, but people can leave challenged, but they're unsure of what the next steps are. And so this is an opportunity for Pastor Cesar. He always has more to share than he can on a Sunday morning when he's studying and preparing and just, life experience. So this gives the opportunity for him to be able to share more with our congregation and answer any questions that you guys may have about what you heard on Sunday, and really just help provide some encouragement and application during the week. Yeah. So there's so much stuff out there that you can listen to, but this is something that if we're called to renew our minds and to be encouraged and to be careful about what goes into our brains, this is something that is good and encouraging, hopefully, to you guys, and will help challenge you guys in between Sunday and Sunday. So it's for anyone who wants to wrestle with the message and live it out.
What I'm most excited about is hearing, like she said, kind of hearing from Pastor Cesar, even the bloopers, things that didn't make the reel on Sunday morning or the cut. Just
or
kind
explaining different.
Yeah, hearing the heart behind why he chose this certain topic or series, and even stuff that we may not even know about. So, which is really cool. If you know anything about Pastor Cesar, he puts a lot of energy and time and effort. And Tuesdays, he really devotes all his time to studying God's Word. And you don't mess with him on Tuesdays. His door. No, I'm just kidding. He's always available, but he puts a lot of time and energy into this, and so getting to hear just a little bit of snippet of what he's going through as he's preparing is really cool, and we get to hear a little bit about that. So you get to be behind the scenes.
Yes. And so you can expect, this is going to be a weekly podcast, which we're excited about. It may not come out on the same day, but it will come out. We are determined.
Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. No,
we are determined to be consistent with this. And so thank you for your patience and thank you for your encouragement. We hope that you subscribe and just keep us accountable and getting this out to y'all, because this is for you guys. It's for us to have fun and to learn more about the sermon, but mostly for you guys so that you can have something great to listen. And it's for everyone, whether you've just shown up for the first time on Sunday and you are like, what the heck is going on? Or people who've been here for ever and they just want, again, you're always learning and you're never going to reach the end process or the end goal until we get to heaven. So this is just an opportunity to continue renewing our mind. Yeah. It's supposed to be casual, real.
Very
we
casual.
Might say some funny things like, I don't know, I just threw in my little fun fact about George Washington. So it's, again, get to know us and then really just dive in and learn more about the message.
I'm the worship pastor here at Dallas Bay Church, Luke Littrell. I've been here for 6 years, love leading people to worship, and I think worship is just more than Sunday mornings. And that's kind of my heart behind this too, is for you to hear a little bit about me, kind of the process that I go through, choosing the music and choosing the worship. And I hope it's relevant and engaging. So I hope that's something that I get to do. Something funny about me, man, I'm trying to learn how to play guitar. And it's difficult.
Yeah.
I've played piano my whole life. Guitar is totally different, so that's something interesting about me. So I would say maybe 5 to 6 months down the road, I'll play on Sunday. I hope.
He said it here first. Keep him accountable.
We'll see. You definitely don't want me to play right now. It's
Christmas performance.
There you go. That could be good. That could be really good. Let's talk about Sunday morning. We had Steve Pearson with us, who's from the Tennessee Baptist Mission Board. He worked with the Harvest Field in East Tennessee. He talked about church being on mission and how that kind of ties into Love Chat. We can talk more about that here in just a second. But some of the things that I took away from it, and hopefully you took some notes. I was taking notes on Sunday. When we talk to people, I think the biggest thing for me was when we talk to people, we want to always be spreading the gospel. And that doesn't happen naturally, organic. It usually happens over time. One of the cool things he talked about was just even when you go to eat, you sit down to eat, and before you pray, you ask the server, hey, how can I pray for you? I thought that was really cool. And he talked about some of the traffic signs that you might see. Green means go, yellow means slow down, not to speed up, and red means to stop. So we stop, and we listen, and we care for people. Yellow means we slow down, and we listen, and we care for them in that way. And then green means go. Green means to share the gospel. And there's 3 different ways you can do that. You can share through listening to their story, you tell your story, and then you tell God's story. You share the gospel. So what are some things you picked up from Sunday that really ties into Love Chat, how he talked about that?
Yeah, I thought it was very cool, unplanned that Steve Pearson was going to be preaching this Sunday. Pastor Cesar and Pastor Dwight had been in Romania for 9 days before that, and Pastor Cesar had been planning on preaching, but when you're on a mission trip in a foreign country, things may change back home. And so he was able to give Steve Pearson the opportunity to preach and give Pastor Cesar some rest and time to recover. And so I thought it was really cool how the Lord kind of organized that, because we had this big, what's the word?
I don't know.
When you go out into the world.
Oh, spreading the gospel, the Great Commission.
Not local, but international.
Yeah, international missions.
You had this big international outreach through Romania, and then this message was sandwiched between Romania and then our local mission trip, Love Chat, which is next week, where we get to serve a bunch of different organizations and ministries around Chattanooga. And so being able to have Pastor Cesar come back and Pastor Dwight and give us more information about all of the work that God is doing in Romania, and then preparing for us to do this local mission trip in our own backyard. And then for Mr. Steve to give us all this kind of direction to do so, and instruction on how to do so, and encouragement was really cool. So very cool of God to organize it that way. It was cool.
He also talked a lot about fried chicken, which was a great thing. There was a talk about gravy, which, man, is always a good thing.
It is.
Well, he had the joke. He said he was 12 when he realized that gravy was not a drink.
Yeah.
Thought that was great. So, man, if you missed out, come join us on Sundays. Go watch the live stream. Cassidy, where do we go from here? How can we find this podcast? where can we be looking for it? You said it comes out weekly, so where do we find it?
So you can find it where you listen to podcasts, on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Now we have this video portion, so our YouTube page will be utilized.
Which is totally different because I have a face for radio. I'm not used to the video part, but...
Yeah, I'm used to being behind the scenes. I'm behind the camera usually, but today we have our wonderful wizard, Mr. Logan Latham, who's our media coordinator behind the camera, which is very helpful and thankful for that. He's much more talented in that area than I am. So every part of the body is important and useful. But yeah, you can find it weekly on any of those avenues, and definitely follow us on social media, and we'll be posting, clips and updates, and be looking for polls so that you can ask us your questions on Sundays before we record this.
Absolutely.
And Pastor Cesar will be able to answer some of your questions.
So next week we will have Pastor Cesar back with us, and he's talking about how we can calibrate our lives through the Christian walk. Excited to hear what that looks like, sounds like. And he'll be with us here at the head of the table. We don't want to take the head of the table. That's for him.
For senior pastor.
That's right. That's right. So we're excited to have him back. Be praying for us as we go through this process, and you're coming along with us as we start something brand new. Cassidy, anything else before we head out?
No, just be praying for us. Let me know what your favorite tea options are, because that's my drink of choice in my mug.
Okay.
Different coffee options.
Love coffee.
For them,
love espresso.
Yeah, keep us accountable, but be nice and gentle.
That's right.
And we're thankful that you guys are giving us this opportunity, and
Absolutely.
we're looking forward to it. So,
thanks for joining us. Again, this is the In Between Podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you find podcasts, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Thanks.